Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Miranda Pitrone Art. I'm Miranda, and I'll be your host today with this little video. I am thinking today that we'll use a paint that I've been talking about for a bit called the Black 3.0. And I just want you to see, this is what the bottle looks like, but I want you to see how delicious this black is. It looks like crushed velvet. Isn't that awesome? So I got some, and I have it here. And I've had it for a little while, and I've really just been neglecting to use it because I actually had their 2.0 version for a bit that I was using. And it's pretty black. So this is the 2.0. So it's still pretty black, and even on my camera it looks blacker than it does a little bit in real life. However, the 3.0, which is this little stone here, looking all like a black hole, it looks awesome, is the one that I'm going to be using today. So I painted this stone is from the number 3 mold of the Happy Dotting Company, and I used my potter's plaster. And this is also, these ones are from the Happy Dotting Company molds as well. So you have the tea light, and then this is the sphere. So you can see this is like painted in your kind of like popular brand water-based acrylics, that it almost looks gray compared to this. So all of you know I'm obsessed with metallics, but I also absolutely love it when colors pop, and this black is going to do that for us. I'm super excited to use it today. Alright, so for the remainder I'll be using the Decoart paints to paint our little guy. And I think today we'll go with dotting tools just because I want you all to get a chance to see how to do this, actually using the tools, the styluses, and I think that these are what most people have anyway, or at least have them kicking around somewhere. So that's what I'll start with today. And I'm going to start off first with one of the lovely extreme sheens, the Sky Blue Topaz, and that's going to be our center dot. Okay, so I'm going with the large stylus, is the largest one in this pack, is the green with the 3mm end. And we're going to put a nice big old dot in the center with that blue topaz. So I want it a little bit larger than the dotting tool allows for, but I want you also to see from the side view camera down on the bottom left, see that string? You gotta let it drop before you pull away your tool, otherwise you're just gonna slop this paint all over your piece and be a little upset. So some paints that are thicker can be a little stringy, and you'll have to do that with some of them, or you can thin them using a flow medium. And Decoart makes one of those as well. They actually just have it as their acrylic pouring fluid. So I just put that in a big bottle, and whenever I need, put a little bit in my palette to mix with my paints. But very rarely, I don't usually need them if I'm using the Americana line, but sometimes the extreme sheens need a little help. Alright, so we're gonna next have this deep sapphire. And we're going to do 8 dots around our center dot here. And these are extreme sheens as well, so you can see I just have to remember to pull my tool all the way up. Alright, so now in between each of those ones we just put down, I'm just going to take my handy dandy etcher tool here. And I found with this black paint, I don't want to use the sharp end because it catches on this paint. So I'm using the gold, and I'm just kind of drawing in the spiral. But also what you can do is, I'm sure I've seen stencils out there that look like a spiral, so if you're having trouble with spacing, you could do that. Or you could kind of measure out the distance between the two spaces here and just put a little dot up there kind of to show yourself, and then you could do one piece like this on a piece of cardstock, trace it out, and then make yourself a stencil of that one piece and just go all the way around tracing. And then I'm just kind of pulling them down around each side just to kind of lengthen it out a bit here. It took me a couple tries here. I started off on a wrong angle of what I wanted, but then you kind of have them sketched there so you can take a look at it and see if it's the right amount of spacing. Sometimes it's just a little bit of trial and error. Alrighty, it's not going to mess up my chance to use some metallics. I'm going to go with some of the Dazzling Metallic Shimmering Silver. Now we're going to put these guidelines in so that we can use them as a boundary so that we don't exit the area with our designs inside the lines. And I'm just using my yellow dotting tool. And this Dazzling Metallic that I have, to be honest, I thinned it a little too much. So they're not really usually, you don't need to thin the Decoart paints much, but this one I had for a while, and when I opened it up it was a little bit tacky and I needed to help it out and refresh it a little, which you can do and renew those paints. I hate wasting. And then kind of as I get towards the end, let's see if I can get it on the side view here, I'm just kind of letting them get a little bit smaller, even stealing from these dots that are still wet, and then you'll have less paint on the tool. And that will just kind of help you so you don't have to actually walk them out. If you need to get to the smaller sizes, just grab from your other dots. Like that. Somebody recently said that that was my catchphrase, just like that, and I didn't think about it until now, and I was like, yep, just like that. It's funny, the things you don't realize you're saying, or even what your voice sounds like. A lot of you have been like, oh, your voice is soothing, which I'm so thankful for, because when I listen to my own voice, I'm not as enamored by it at all. But I think it sounds differently to ourselves as well, because I'm hearing it in my own head, but then also you hear it recorded and it just doesn't sound the same. Alrighty, so now I'm just going to fill in all those spiral lines, giving us a guide for the rest of our stone. Just quickly here, using the silver, I'm just going to go through each arm and work my way down. So I don't want these to really graduate in size until we get to the very end, so I'm trying to keep dipping so that they stay about the same size, just until the end part of the arm. Alright, how are you guys doing? We're almost done here with our silver spiral arms. And then we'll get to move on to the next part of our stone. So that little guy I'm just going to erase because my fluid paint is a little too fluid. So I'm just taking a dry brush while it's wet, smoothing it out, and then painting it over a little bit more with the background color that we used just to kind of camouflage it. And redo that one arm. My paint was too fluid, unfortunately, so it started to smear. Alright, so I'm going to go to a multi-surface just because I like this color Cobalt here, so it's kind of a brighter, dark still, but a brighter blue. And we're going to do kind of an ombre effect with the colors. So this will be dark to light, but first we're still going to be using the yellow dotting tool. And over each of the deep Sapphire metallic that we did, over each of those we're going to tuck one of these Cobalt blues. Alright, now is where we're going to have a little bit of fun. Not that we weren't already having some fun, right? I'm going to go with some tropical blue, and this is my etcher tool, but I have been also using these ones that I have in my shop that has a sharp end to etch, but this end also works really great for micro dots and micro swipes. So I'm going to use both just to show you the difference here, because there is not too much. I shook that paint up and then I never poured it in my palette. There we go. Alright, now above each of these cobalts, what we're going to do is we're going to dip our little etcher tool and we're going to do tiny swipes. So mine, I want to leave a little space because I want the swipes to go on an angle that opposes the spiral. So we're going to actually go against the grain here for a little bit. Just for a little. So like the third silver dot up about, I'm going to take that and I'm going to pull down a little swipe like that. So about the third dot up, I have just a little too much on there. And then pull it down. I guess I'm pulling it down in between the first and second dots where there's the space, the juncture in between those two. Now, one thing you can also do is put a dot, if you don't have a little etcher like this, you can put a dot and take a toothpick or one of these etcher tools, and it'll help you to get that elongated kind of small tail at the end. This one I don't know if it'll hold enough paint to actually do a full size swipe that I'm trying to do. Let's see. See, even I'm learning new things here. Yeah, I guess it will. Because we're at the smallest zone here. So I'm putting down a dot. It actually has too much on it. And then I'm just going to drag it around our cobalt dot here. Just like that. Slowly, steady. Everyone, I keep trying to remind y'all that it's slow and steady and calm and enjoyable. Swipe, swoop, swish, like all the words everyone's using for them. It really, in your mind, it implies that it's fast, but it doesn't have to be. You can do this slow, controlled. The paint's not going to dry up instantly. So you can do this slow, controlled kind of drag out. I mean, I've been doing them for years with the brush, so it's taken a little bit to switch over to the tools, but you can do it. It works. So don't lose hope, right? Alright, so next one I have this turquoise blue. And now that we have our first one there, it's actually a lot easier because you can just follow the guide of the first swipe. So just a little bit higher. I actually can tell I have a little bit too much paint on my tool there. So a little bit higher. See, now I wipe it off. And then just pull the paint down into the space. But even I sometimes have trouble gauging how much is on the tool, how far it's going to go. It depends on what you're painting upon as well, because some things just soak up the paint super fast. And, I mean, not to the point where it's going to dry, but faster than you would expect if you're just going on kind of a natural nude stone. See, that's pretty damp, so I figure it's a little much. I'm gonna pull over there, and then we'll come back to this one and give them a whirl there. We can kind of see our fun little pattern starting to emerge here, where we get that kind of pinwheel effect inside of our silver spiral. Okay, the next paint I'll be using is Shoreline. It's just a shade lighter than the last one that we used. And I'm still just using the etcher end, so the very smallest dotting tool that you have, or an etcher tool. Now I'm going to grab some Jadeite glass. So we're going to start coming into some greens now. So at this point I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 silver dots up, pulling it down into about the third dot on the next rung. And that'll kind of keep your, oh, I pushed down too hard. That'll kind of keep your symmetry and spacing, so you have a little bit of an idea how to gauge where you are on your piece. And one thing I just want to take note of too is how much these colors pop on this black. And I can't really see it. Let me see here if I can adjust my setting. Maybe that's a little bit better. It's just a kind of more true to the real color that it looks like. Alrighty, so next up we have this Eucalyptus Leaf, and it's also one of the 2020 colors along with the Jadeite. So it's just a few shades darker here in our green zone. I actually haven't even used this one yet. I'm going to up my tool size a bit here to the opposite end of the yellow, because I want my swipe to go a little bit farther, so the larger the end of the tool, then the more paint it will hold and the farther we'll be able to drag it out there. And so one thing I hear is you can't make your swipes go long. A lot of people are saying I can't make my swipes go very long. So I pull it as far as it'll go with the tool, and then I sometimes will have to go up and grab like right at the tail end where the paint's still wet and just kind of stretch it out a little farther. But also too, going slower will keep that paint attached to the stone so that it just kind of keeps on wicking down and you don't have to lift it up. So see how I went slower that time, and it stays kind of connected to the stone. Oh my goodness, my son's gonna come through the roof upstairs. Trampoline in the living room, I don't recommend it, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Our little spiral here is really starting to develop nicely. Okay, now we're going to switch direction with our swipes just to kind of fill in the space. But we're going to use the bright green for the next in line. And I'm actually going to up the size of my tool to the blue. And we're going to start instead at the small end. I don't know if I can even use the blue. I may have too much paint to go that far. See, once I got a look at my actual distance there. Let's switch it up to the white. So we'll dip that one in the green. And we'll start at the small end. I don't know, even that seems like a lot, but I think it's just because I have some fuzz on the end here. Alright, try this again. See how much nicer it comes out when you go slow. Look at that. That one's a little bit uglier. I might have to fix him. I was in a bit of a rush, I think, in my head. Because I keep getting interrupted, but I need to slow it down. I can always pause and come back. But see, I even have to remind myself of that as well. To just kind of enjoy your time painting. Okay, now a bit of Kelly green. using the same tool. I'm kind of pulling the tails a little closer together just to kind of round out the design, I guess to say, so it doesn't look so pointy. It's kind of filling in so that these kind of, not really, make the circle. Alright, now without switching colors, we'll use the smaller end of the white, and we're going to follow along but with dots. So we're going to do a row of Kelly green using dots. So you're just letting them go smaller till the paint runs off the tool. Alright, then we're going to cut back down the colors. So the next one we had used was bright green. So we're going to follow along with the bright green. I love the way it looks in the different contrasts from swipes to dots. Just a fun change of pace. Give it a little different design look. And then the one before the bright green was the Eucalyptus. Good gray. Alright, next is the Jadeite. Yes, buddy? Okay. Alright, a couple more with the Jadeite. And then we're gonna go grab back our blues and work our way out with some blues. Alright, so going back in here to the blues that we used, I'm gonna go back to the Shoreline blue. That's gonna go right after our Jadeite. How are y'all holding up at this point, okay? We went on a beautiful hike today to an awesome park. There actually were so many trails we couldn't even hit them all. Of course, my son is bummed that he can't play on the playground, but we gotta do what we gotta do and enjoy what we can do. I'm super thankful to have a little bit of time now to paint as well. So what kind of ways, hit me in the comments, what kind of ways are you guys all staying sane and trying to keep life from getting in the doldrums? It's not easy some places, I am sure. Although I keep seeing all these celebrities with huge houses and tons of food and ice cream, and feeling that they just don't really get it. But it's not the same for them, I guess. They just decided to put all our kids in school to the end of the year. I'm not in school, online school till the end of this year. So my daughter's a little bummed, but she's making do with what she has. Alright, so the next one we used was the turquoise blue. I think online is tough just for kids to sit there in front of a screen all day. I know a lot of kids are able to sit and play games for a while, but I don't let my kids usually be in the screen that long. So she's got a exercise ball and they're trying to do ways. Her teachers are so awesome. They're working out ways to keep her busy. But I'm very impressed with just the teacher's amazing resilience and imagination. It's just amazing how fast they got everything put together, and they delivered the Chromebooks to the families' homes. The bigger schools had pickup at the school, but I'm just amazed. I love people. I think it's so cool how they can come together and make things work, helping each other out when it really matters. Okay, so depending on your spacing, on mine I'm already getting closer to the edge, but we're at the turquoise, so then I only have 2 more blues. So that might just fit perfectly on my stone here. But like I said, don't worry about your spacing. Just enjoy your time painting. Have a little art therapy. Plus blues and greens are so calming for me. I don't know, let me know. What do you guys find calming for colors? I gotta say coral has become one, but I think it's just because I'm so obsessed with sunsets. I love them, but I never really liked orange. And then last year when coral became the color of the year and I started using it a lot, I just fell in love with it. Alright, so now we'll switch over to our tropical blue. I'm almost sold out of the DIY kits again. Do you guys want me to make up more? Is it something people want, you think, still to keep busy? I have little kits with samples of canvas, some have samples of paint, some have stones and magnets to paint. I just put together like little craft kits for people that I usually do only at Christmas time, but I figured we needed them again, so I made up some more. But again, let me know if that's something you guys say hi in the comments. Feel free to give your opinion always. I love hearing it, and I love hearing from you all. Recently I got some sweet little gifts from some lovely, lovely ladies. One of the ladies sent me this man's amazing work with wood to paint on. He cut out some leaves for me to paint, so I'm super excited to check those out. And then another one of the lovely ladies sent me a box of Santorini tiles. And there's a heart-shaped one, there's a hexagon-shaped one. I'm so excited. I asked her where she got them, and next thing I know, they're arriving at my doorstep. I just am so thankful for you all. And, you know, I was going to wait and ask them if they minded being mentioned in my video, but I'm going to go for it anyway. So thank you so much, Miss Snyder and Miss Hayes, you lovely, lovely ladies, for the presents. What an amazing gift to go to my mailbox and find those. Really uplifting, and I'm super excited to paint them, of course. I have a couple custom orders to get out of the way, and then I will. And as always, feel free, you guys, to leave comments if you are looking. I can't guarantee that I can paint everything that's suggested, but there's times when I get a little more time or something fits in a time frame that's allowable for me, or it sparks an inspiration in me when you guys comment like, try this, the orange slice. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. I love doing that one. That was a suggestion from one of you all. So feel free in the comments. Plus the comments are a way to keep me going here on YouTube. Not only encouraging me, but with YouTube's algorithms, they don't show more videos unless they're getting a lot of engagement, they told me. So I appreciate you guys taking the effort and taking the time to go ahead and at least say hi. Tell me where you're from. If you can't think of anything to say, just say hi. I'm alright with that too. Alright, oh, we're doing the Cobalt. I get so excited to get to the last row here. I forgot to show the paint. Oh, you stinker. Alright, so this guy is a little bit thinner than I want it to be, so I'm gonna have to wait for each round, I think, to dry, or it's gonna dribble down the edge of my stone here. Now, a lot of you, this is actually a good time to talk about it, a lot of you have asked me if there is any way to thicken paint, and there are thickening gels. I usually do not use them just because I like the dots to fall into place, but this probably would be one of those times where it would be good to use a thickener, and the paint on the edge would hold a little better because it'd be thicker. Okay, so I'm tentatively moving along. I am having to babysit that first dot that I did to make sure it doesn't run down. And after I finish this round, we will wait for it to all dry. And then I'll finish off the bottom with black, and then I have felt bottoms that are, it's self-adhesive felt, where it's like a sticker and you just cut it to the size of what you need. And on that sticker, I'll just stick it to the bottom here, so that you can set your stone on something and it doesn't get white or black, or paint on the stand doesn't get scratched up. It just makes it a little spiffier, I think. Spiffier. There's a word. Word of the day, spiffy. Hey, stay in place. Alright. And there we have our lovely little spiral stone. So if you guys are looking to make the felt bottoms for yourself, I do have a video on how to do that, and then I also have the pattern for the felt to cut out the sizes for the number 3 stone, the heart, for most of the happy dotting molds, so that you can cut your own felt sheets to size for your bottoms, if you're looking for it. If not, I'm sure you could find there's little circular ones on Amazon for 2 and 3 inches. You could put one of those on the bottom too. So I hope you had fun doing this one with me. It was really fun to get to use some of the newer colors from 2020. I was super excited about that, and I'm kind of loving the blues and greens. They're just so calming lately, which I totally need after a crazy day of homeschooling and 3-year-old running around and just life. You guys know. You guys get it. I know you understand. So don't forget, today's the 25th, so there are 3 more days, I think, 2 more days for the giveaway that I have going on Amazon and Facebook. So check that out and make sure you get your entries in. I'll probably do another one after that in a little bit, so don't lose heart if you don't get in on this one. There'll be more. And I miss y'all. I hope you're doing well. I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. And I hope you have a great day. Stay safe, take care, happy painting! Hey everyone, and welcome to Miranda Pitrone Art. I am Miranda, and today we're gonna do a fun little stone with a spiral. But before we get to that, I just want to talk to you a little bit about a paint I mentioned recently that was the Black 3.0. This black paint is so amazing. I know you all love a... Are you squeaking like a mouse?
What's a mouse?
I don't know. Where is a mouse? Are you a mouse?
She's gone.
She's gone?
Yes.
Okay. Did you really see a real mouse?
No.
Okay, good. Whew.
wooden stars kit.
You need to paint a star?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. How are we going to do that?
And paint the circle.
But Mama's working. Are you going to make a big mess?
No, I won't.
You promise?
No.
You don't promise?
No.
Oh, well, how can I let you if you don't promise you won't make a mess?
Because I will make a mess.
You will make a mess? Well, at least you're honest, Effie. We're recording. Hang on. All right. Wait. Mommy's... Okay, whatever. We'll just cut it out.
What?
All right. So here is another one of the 2020 colors, the Eucalyptus Leaf. And it's just a step up shade-wise here for us on this design from the Jadeite. So that will be our next one. I haven't even used this one, I just had to open it. So I'm actually going to switch now because I want my swipe to go a little bit farther. So I want it to hold a little more paint on my tool. I'm going to switch to the opposite end and not this one. Oop. It's blocking the camera now. I lost my train of... Okay, here's another one of the 20, just throw it around, Miranda. Alright, so now here's another one of the 2020 colors, this Eucalyptus leaf. Eucalyptus. Ah, really? Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Why can't I talk? Bubblegum, bubblegum, bubblegum. Thank you to my 7th grade music teacher, Miss Michaud, for all the word mouth warm-ups. Okay. Hey everyone, welcome to Miranda Pitrone Art. I'm Miranda, like I don't know who I am. Yeah. Hey everybody, bloody everybody. Oh my word. Alright, so somebody's been playing with my cameras. What's up? Hey, where is it? Good afternoon, everyone. What? I'm on the wrong screen. No, not right now, buddy. Okay, Mama's working. Did you just paint all over yourself? Oh, honey. And then, what? Ah, what?